Thank you for coming tonight. We're here at the Madison Township Board meeting. As always, we're here at the fire station, so if there's emergencies on that occurs, we'll pause the meeting and we will get to a safe location until the trucks can leave. So just a reminder for that. This time, can you please rise and pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for that. Real quick, introductions. I'm Brian Nick, Madison Township trustee. All right, this time we'll go ahead and review last meeting minutes. Krista?
January 6th, 26th, board met Public Fire Station at 6 o'clock. Pledge of allegiance was stated, last meeting minutes were read and accepted. Resolution 2026-1-1 was approved and accepted to increase salaries by 3% for trustee, board, clerk, and chair. Motion was approved and accepted for board positions, chair to Sandra, secretary to Krista, clerk to Amy. We reviewed and agreed to file financial report and moved and agreed for federal property guidelines for 2026 township assistance to increase by 25%. That was approved with all ayes. The board agreed to review burial expenses by the end of this year. 2 motions were made and accepted with all ayes to approve contract to Monroeville Fire Department for 2026, and also the dates for board meetings for 2026, including March 3rd, May 5th, July 7th, September 1st, and December 1st. The meeting was then adjourned.
Any additions or corrections to the minutes? If not, look for motion to accept.
Motion.
Thank you. All right, we're going to old business. I want to, I only have one. It's to update the board on Senate Bill 270 and House Bill 1315. I've tried to put a few little short videos online to update the community. Essentially, just as reminders, House Bill 1315 was in the state legislature in an attempt to essentially eliminate townships from the state of Indiana. A lot of that control and governmental control and oversight will be done through the county. Senate Bill 270 was Indiana Township Association's rebuttal to that 1315 bill on being able to measure townships by actually metrics. The value of the township be measured by township assistance, fire EMS, just really the community engagement with the township. And Senate Bill 270 was a very pro-township bill in the state of Indiana. Good news I can share with you is that House Bill 1315 didn't get enough readings and essentially died in the State House. And Senate Bill 270 is moved almost to the governor's desk. It has to go through the more procedural process and then it'll go to the governor's desk for signing. So that is the update with that. Looking at the criteria for townships, there's a lot that goes into it. It kind of breaks it down by point system. So if you don't have a fire EMS, you get a point. If you don't have enough township assistance requests, you get another point. You don't have all your reports submitted to Great Wayne stuff on time. So there are these points. If you get 4 points, then that flags a township for a merger. So not eliminating the township, you would merge with another adjoining township. So the township government still stays intact and serves the residents of that area. Looking at Madison Township, as of right now, my point scaling, we only have 1 point, because we don't have enough township assistance applications. So we're gonna try to make an attempt this year to continue to let the community know what we have to offer as a township. So right now, we're really set on 1 point. So Madison Township would not be considered for consolidation. So I'll update everyone on that when it actually passes and the other signs it. But it looks really promising right now. Any questions on the 2 bills that approve the state? All right. I'm going to add in here the trustee financial report. What I want to do at this time is share with the board, and this can be for review after the meeting as well. This, what I'm handing out, is the balance sheet, ledger, and reconciliation for the month of January. You can see on the front page there the different funds for the township. You've seen this one before. It shows the month of January, total receipts, total dispersed for each fund, and the balance at the bottom. The next page is a reconciliation of our accounts. It shows you outstanding checks. I'm sure your financial is familiar. You'll see clear checks, checks that are not clear yet. Daily cash register. This is just again the transparency attempt to make sure that the board is aware of everything that's going on, what's going in and going out. This is January. I'll keep this up here if anyone wants to take a look afterwards. Next one I hand out is for February, so this I just closed the month out just a few days ago. And same thing. In front, you can see where we currently stand on our funds. You can see what we dispersed and received in. You'll see for the Township Fire MS, for the receipts for this month, a very large receipt, and I'll have Chief Rosine speak towards that here in a few minutes. Same thing, you can see the register in there, we're sitting really good financially with cash on hand. And as you know, there's a lot of information here as far as payments out and receipts coming in. As you review this, if you have any questions, please reach out and let me know. I want to provide this every meeting moving forward. So what you'll get is the last 2 months. You'll get the monthly update and the month after the meeting. And so make sure you guys have that at all times. Any questions there about the report? All right, this time I'd like to review the mowing contracts. We had 2. I want to refresh your memory on what those are. Here is the contract for last year's Massillon Cemetery. This is just a copy. So you can look at the cost, what that contract was. So that's the Massillon Cemetery. Then we have Pleasant Valley Cemetery and the developing park down there in Hogan Road. And we received a quote from Greenworks. Greenworks was the entity that mowed the park and the cemetery last year for us. The quote from Greenworks is exactly dollar for dollar what it was last year. Nothing's changed. We didn't increase it at all. It's exactly what the contract was last year. With both contracts last year, we came under budget by about $400. So we did really well in the budgeting for the mowing contracts. I'd like the board to consider the quote from Greenworks, and also I'd like you to consider the Massillon Road Cemetery contract. I would like to offer to Kevin Shear. I spoke to him. He is willing to do it. Both contracts fall under a threshold for us to bid these out. So since we had them last year, they did really well. Really impressed with their service. I'd like the board to consider and advise what we'd like to do.
Why don't we start with the Massillon Cemetery mowing contract for discussion? And you said keeping the same cost.
It's up to the board.
Okay.
We were $400 on budget last year. Budget was the same for going this year.
I don't think it would be a bad idea, a little bit just because of, yeah, fuel prices, everything that's gone up. Probably one of yours was gonna continue to go to the weird deal stuff. No, but I'm not going to burn into it.
So with that,
Just to increase it like $1,900, $1,600 more this year.
that's,
I thought he did a great job last year. He kept up with it and he actually went above and beyond, I think, with cleaning it up. Don't you think, right?
yeah, it comes with the guys that do
Yeah.
the cemetery, it was, they showed it nice, I'm sure it was loaded for, Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day, Veterans Day. And, he lives right next door to it, so he has a really vested interest in the cemetery, and he has our ideas. When a tree fell down here somewhere, he called me right away, and, he wants to take care of it, so. Very happy. Need a motion, any more discussion?
Make a motion to increase, $1,900.
And I wish it was.
I'll give it to Mr. Stewart.
Yes.
All right, motion and second to offer a contract for $1,900 to Lower Aspen Lutheran Cemetery to Mr. Kevin Shear. Any other discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay. Thank you for that.
Alright, so remarks, contract, which would be the old school, and the Pleasant Valley Cemetery.
This is the quote in front of you. Again, it's the same exact as it was last year. What's-
And again, this is not all the grass,
Correct.
it's just part of it.
We call it the developed part, or the established grass, it's there, with the same acreage as it was last year.
And it's under us needing to bid it out.
Right, yeah, we're gonna be a mouth, the finish on that.
I personally thought everything was taken care of this year. And I like that we're not increasing costs, and so I'm really good with it. Any more discussion?
Thoughts?
Which one increases more low than
I would suggest that they came in, estimate came in at this, and this is what I would.
I have a motion to move forward with the remarks.
Motion,
second.
second motion, to set Greenworks for the Oakland School lot in Pleasant Valley Cemetery for Welland. Based on the estimate provided by Greenworks. There's a motion to second, any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Get these contracts out. Next on the agenda is Township audit update. Actually, we need some, I realize we had some. Agenda, we can follow along. All right, Township audit update, I don't have anything to hand out for that, just want to give an update, to the board that we, since we last met, was contacted by the State Board of Accounts, and, we were selected to be audited. The years we're being audited is from 2021 to 2024. So, and provide the State Board of Accounts all the necessary information, the requested records, so a lot of stuff, to them. And, that was two weeks ago. exit meeting, which is tomorrow morning. And, definitely I need to be there, really, we need, the chair also there, and the invitation to the board, so you guys can be there, that'd be wonderful downtown, the Russo Center. I don't have any indication of how it's gonna go, it's my first audit. If it's anything like the other township trustees in the county tell me, I'm scared to death. But we'll see. He's a very nice guy, Steve's a very nice guy, walked me through the process, and seemed pretty pleased with what he saw us do in the end of 2024, with Tom's Web and a lot of other things that we were able to clean up. So he was very happy with that, but still, I'll have the next meeting tomorrow, we'll understand where we're at, where we need to address some things, address some of those gaps in. I'm looking forward to a nice quick reset, and we can start clean and move forward. So that's where we're at with that. If you can make it wonderful, did you get an email today?
I did, invitations is fine.
Okay. Well, I'll follow up with you.
Okay.
After we get that. So that's tomorrow morning. It shouldn't take longer than 60 minutes. Should be less than that, 30. So that's the audit. All right, move on to, I'm going to give a quick update on the Township Park development. Tim Roy, who's the chair of the Township Park Board, couldn't be here tonight, but I asked him to send me a email with an update on where things are at. We have some movement, I'd like the board to hear where we're at with it, and what's the next steps. So, remember, Tim had worked for the Blue Nile Alliance, he has a lot of connections, which is really helpful for us when it comes to grants and the next steps that we need to do. Looking back, there was some steps that were missed that we didn't quite follow, and we need to make sure we do those first before we actually move on to something. So Tim says the Community Foundation of Greater Fort Wayne has agreed to pay for a landscape architect to draw up an actionable plan for the property. The organization has a relationship with Hoagland Chamber and has developed through involvement with the Blue Nile Alliance. They believe, he believes, they'll also assist with gathering community input on the use and features of the park. Tim feels this is important because there's been some people questioning if we need another park, what the park would look like, and we are going to use this architect to take a look at the property, ignore the sidewalks in the parking lot, and just say what would we want as a community in this location. We're going to design that up, and he has a grant for that, so that will come out of any of the township's pocket, and the grant will pay for that architect. They will also set up a meeting to discuss with the community, so we can get more input from the community. Jay already did that, probably, was it 2021 or 22, and got a lot of feedback. That kind of got us a good foundation of what we wanted the park to look like. To get this grant, the Community Foundation of Greater Fort Wayne wants to have that meeting with the community. We need to feedback and say, hey, without constraints, this is what would you want in that park down there. So the park board will have their next meeting on March 19th, and they will have some more information on next steps for that. So you are all invited to that. I'll have an email that comes out with that. Going forward, March 19th will be the park board meeting, and they will set up the meeting for the community at that time. Any questions on the park? I did contact the organization that was keeping the trucks down there. They're gone now. They're trying to cut the poles up so they can close out of it. Looking by March 1st. So I had a couple options up there. All right, at this time, we'll move on to cemetery improvements. I've requested Janelle Cowerman, she's the Township Cemetery Committee representative here tonight to talk about cemetery improvements. We're very, very new on this, and a lot of first steps occurring right now. So, Janelle, if you could maybe give us a quick update on the cemeteries and the current plans and what's happening.
There's about 6 of us that are on the committee, and we just met last week. Start making a plan, assessing what needs done, looking at possible grants, see what we can do to get what covered and whatnot. But we were just kind of brainstorming a little bit last week. We're going to be research, and, I think right now we're looking at possibly looking at getting some surveying and, like ground penetration, done to see where all the roofs are at, the ones that aren't marked.
Any other questions?
Yes, and that's good.
Yeah, thank you. She's done a lot of work, not only to understand the history of cemeteries, but also as what the DNR is guiding us on what we can do in cemeteries, and just going up the shovel. So, she's done a lot of good work with that, still building that committee together, and, I'm really excited for that, because that's something that we'll be able to see action right away with cemetery workers. So, those, again, are hollow grounds in our township, those need to be kept up, and we absolutely put a lot of effort into that. So, thank you. We want to hope the fire and EMS report. I've asked Chief Rosine from the fire department to be here today to give an update to the board on fire department itself and some new things happening. Chief.
For anybody who doesn't know, I'm Dale Rosine, Chief of the Fire Department. It's my first year in this role, so bear with me a little bit, but learn as we go. So just a little recap of last year. Last year we did about total of 230 runs. 145 was engine EMS runs, that's cars, house fires, anything in a car, an engine or EMS, and then 85 strictly EMS. That's in whether it's in the community, 4 minutes for another community. So right here we have quite a few. Let's see, new around the station, everybody can see we sold an engine. So Brian and I kind of got together and kind of thinking of consolidation a little bit. We had plenty of trucks, but with the current volunteer status, we don't have enough people to get the trucks out the door. So let's think about this, let's save more money where we can. Insurance is expensive for these rigs, so we decided to sell the truck. Now, with that being said, we're gonna replace it with a new grass rig, hopefully. So we kind of started this project about 2 years ago, and then we got some quotes for over $250,000 for a grass rig like that. So that kind of kiboshed that for a year. So with that being said, we got a new SCBA compressor. I'll agree on that in a minute. And so this new grass rig, currently we have a 2000 F450. It's a single cab, has a 250 or a 500 ppm pump, 250 gallon tank. And it's serviced well for the last few years, but over the years it's really starting to cost us. We've been noticing some things rust out. I like to say our engines and apparatuses don't wear out, they get hurt by sitting more, so everything freezes up, things stick in the engine, it's getting rough. So we kind of decided, let's utilize something smaller that everybody can drive, get people to the scene, we get big trucks out right away, and then everybody else can fill in. So that's kind of where we got to this. So we're looking at a 2026 Ford F550, 4-door, long bed or short bed, we got on the table about this. So the bed on it, that is a utility bed. We're looking at something like a flatbed, and that's going to be basically have the same skid unit, be 250 gallon tank, 300 gallon per minute pump, and just a little bit smaller than that, more people can drive. So that's something we're looking at. We're currently getting quotes, and then hopefully by next, see what happens next time, but I'll have like a spec sheet to be able to what it'll look like that I can show the board and present to them and for them to accept. So with that being said, pretty much it on the truck, Brian, I think. The SCBA compressor, the cascade system. So our old system we got, and that would fill our old bottles. But with our new air packs that we got 10 years ago, 8 years ago, I think, probably 8 years ago, they require such high PSI that the pump could not fill up to like maybe a half hour's worth of air, and I think our bottles were 45 minutes. So this new compressor will allow us to train on site, refill our own bottles. Before we'd have to go to like Monroeville, New Haven, which is great, yeah, we can have fun and play and use our hair, but then somebody has to take up another 2 hours for the bottles full. So this will help us here at the station, we can fill, train as much as we want on air, get used to it. So. And I guess for future, we're kind of maintaining this year due to the possible of a county-wide thing. We got a few lots of new stuff we want to get done. We started getting all hydraulic jaws of life tools, so no more hydraulic pump carrying around, it's all battery operated. Well, with that, the tools are a little bit bigger and a little bit more awkward, so they make a carousel truck we want to buy, and it kind of keeps everything organized because each one of the tools is about $10,000. We got 4 of them, so 3, excuse me. So, and And then, another odds and then there's a cistern over there below the station that hasn't been cleaned out in roughly 25 years. So it hasn't been cleaned out since I've been here. So we kind of just want to maintain this year and see what happens next year. So that's all I got. If anybody has any questions, I got some drawings of the truck bed if you guys want to see it, but other than that, we're kind of waiting on for quotes and a spec sheet on it. So.
Great, thank you, Chief. Appreciate the information. I want to underscore a little bit of what Chief said. We asked of the department is to help us vet opportunities to purchase a new grass rig without having to take a loan. At the time of these discussions, the countywide unified fire EMS district was being talked about. We didn't know what that would look like. And the last thing I want the township to do is take on a loan for a vehicle that might move someplace else. So I asked the department, what are our options to be able to do this without taking a loan? And I think the plan has been put in place by the department is very, very good. The command vehicle, you're aware of that, has already been sold, and the engine now has been sold. Obviously, have the grass rig out there that we would sell after we get a new one. We have a Q fund that we don't use much of, but that's there for capital projects like this. And we also have the ability to have a lot of cash on hand without any less fund. There may, depending on what we end with the supports coming in yet for the truck, we may have to get additional appropriation for the purchase of the vehicle. But I'm also want to ensure that with the, if we go with the countywide unified fire EMS, that we have some sort of agreement that keeps these trucks here, including the board. Because of course we know the taxpayer money from here to that, and that takes on to some of these things. So, I commend Dale and Chief Wazim and the team for putting stuff together, and information and quotes and doing this. Really excited about it, because this vehicle, like Chief said, will be able to haul people, respond to ramp runs, and also act as a press release. So, multi-use vehicle. Really excited about it. Any questions for the Chief? Anybody?
Sounds good.
All right, next up, I want to give the board an update on the finance system that I just talked about. So, you've seen some postings, social media about some of the meetings that's been occurring at County Memorial Coliseum. Those meetings have been designed with the districts and territory in mind. So we have different fire districts in the central territory. So for those residents to talk about what they can expect with this interlocal merger. As of this time right now, Madison Township, Monroe Township, Jackson Township have not signed into this interlocal agreement, which is why it was promoted as being for the districts and the territory. We, as the southeast part of Allen County, have the opportunity to speak into what's going on, ask questions, get an understanding of the impact it has on us out here, and we have the ability to make a decision of what we think is going to be best for this part of the county. So many things going on right now that are part of these discussions for almost a year, and speaking into from the southeast side. And we've had some meetings here recently with local elected officials in the southeast part of the county, Monroeville, different trustees from Jackson, Monroe, and Northwest Madison. And we're at a point now, we have a lot of questions answered, we understand where the fire chiefs of the county are going with this, what the commissioners are asking for. And we are going to hold some public hearing meetings beginning on the 16th of March. I'm going to hand these out for it. The first meeting will be in Monroeville on the 16th, it's a Monday. And it will be 6 p.m. at the Monroeville Park building. Second one will be on March 23rd here at the Hope Fire Station. We'll start sending these notices being posted around town and Monroeville social media as well. This is a southeast attempt at what the chief's done at the Coliseum is to have a public hearing, to get the information out there, to help everyone understand what's going on, where we're at, the impact it's gonna have on us, and what we can do about it. So, this is a hearing, it's not gonna be any decisions being made at all, it's just an opportunity for the public to understand what's happening. The 23rd again will be here, and the 16th will be there. One representatives from, the fire chiefs, the county commissioner will be here. I'm not sure if county council member will be here, I think they're working on that. But, we wanna make sure that they're here, they'll answer the questions that we have. Any questions about that? That's real high level. I'm gladly answer any questions you have regarding this process, this initiative. Any questions from the guests tonight? All right, just a few things to make note again is that we are not in a district, and we are not in a territory right now. There's some activity going on right now in East Central and Northeast District, consolidation there that's happening. The goal is to, all these steps in line is to go live on January 1st. That's the goal of the agreement that the rest of the county has, that's what they want to do. We, as a board, will discuss this and have input from the community with these hearings, and we will have to decide whether to join it or look at agreement with the rest of the county. I don't have a timeline on when it has to occur, but there's a lot happening right now. They have looking to hire an executive fire and EMS chief. I think that's fairly imminent. I believe interviews have either started or will start really soon with that. That's going to be a quick process there. To try to get somebody, depending on where they live at, in place and helping guide the rest of this journey forward. I know there's a lot going on, so there's probably a lot of questions, not sure what to ask, but I'm happy to answer what I can. And I would strongly encourage, I'd love to see the entire board at these meetings, if you can make it, these hearings. And I strongly encourage you to let your friends, family, neighbors know. It's an opportunity to hear what's going on. If you have to add a third hearing, you can definitely do that after Easter. But depending if you get a lot of people showing up, we'll probably give them another opportunity to talk. All right, well, thank you. Again, call me, email me if you have questions about that. Meantime, feel free to do so. Next up, community engagement. This is a challenge to the board. I would like to see the township more involved with community activities, more visibility for our township. I don't know what that looks like. I'm kind of tossing it to the board for discussions. It doesn't have to be anything determined tonight. But we did the virtual giving tree this past year. I thought it went really, really well. It was a great help to a local family in need. And it also spurred a few other ones that I found out afterwards in different areas of the state that saw that and did something similar. I would like to challenge the board to, Jane had a Christmas party. She did that for many, many years. I don't know how many years that was. A lot. And she ran that, and that was a township event. I would like to see something similar, or some things similar. I remember as a kid, there was a Halloween costume contest out here. I don't know who did it, but I just remember something like that. I'd like the residents to know what a township is, what the township does. And doing things like this is an opportunity for us to push that out there to let the community know what the township's doing for them and what they're here for. And I think these fun events that we can do is really good, especially as family oriented, that's who we are out here. If we can do more of that for the community, I think that just strengthens the foundation of Homeland and Madison Township. So I'd like to challenge the board to come up with some ideas, not necessarily saying you have to run something, but I'd like to be able to have these ideas bouncing around. If you get community members involved, and have them help support there, I'd like to brainstorm and get Madison Township to be more in the public side.
What about Easter thing? There's a Easter thing prior for someone came and had eggs out, go on.
Praise.
There's an
You all agree, five of them.
Easter parade.
So yeah, I mean, that's what, you're on the still, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what, something like that.
More days to, yeah, yeah.
We've got, I forget, I don't know if you saw it, but, you know, requesting the ladies need to go at, some of the spotlights can speak there. We did that with the limestone, you know, and, you know, understand what a township is and what it does and what it can provide, and I'd like to use it as an opportunity to connect with the church, build a partnership with everything from shelter for emergency to food pantries to what can we do to help each other out. And, same with any of the other churches in our area or organizations. So, again, this is the beginning of that. I really see great opportunities for the township to help support the community in more ways than just township assistance and fire units. So we go out for the boys and all that, and I hope we'll do that. Thoughts? How about we, next board meeting, let's come with a little discussion on what the thoughts are on that. Any emails back and forth is great, like officially, I don't know what the next meeting. Just go from there. Great, before I open it up to public comments, I'd like to turn the floor over to Mr. Clement, our guest here tonight, who would like to speak with everyone briefly.
Thank you, Brian. You said I'm Mike Clendenin. I'm a lifelong resident of the First District. Currently live in New Haven with my wife. We raised our 4 boys there. My 1 son and his wife. 5 kids live in Homeland. So running hard is here, along with the rest of the district. I am running for Allen County Council, First District. There's 3 of us. I spent 29 years working at Crumback Simon Chevrolet, so in the car business, you learn customer service and problem solving, so work with the public. 10 years of that, I was on the park board of New Haven. New Haven had a Township Park Board Commissioner, so I dealt with State Board of Accounts and learning budgeting and that type of thing, appropriations. Then I transitioned, became passionate about parks, and left Crumback in 2008. For 15 years, ran the Parks Department in New Haven. I retired 2 years ago. Doing multiple part-time jobs, I just can't say no. But that being said, I was approached just before Christmas about taking this position as nobody. And I realized how much I miss public service. And this is, I don't know if you know much about Allen County Council. I know I didn't. We've had a council rep for years. That's not their fault. It's just what does county council do? County council, they're the fiscal body. They deal with the budget, appropriations, that kind of thing. And then the county commissioners are kind of like the county mayor. They oversee the, that type of thing. So, that being said, this is something I'm sure I'm good at. It's the county budget's a little bigger than what I'm used to. It's 365 pages. What can I do for Hogan? What can I do for Monroeville? What can I do for Fort Wayne, the county, or the county first district? We'll go just north of North River Road, New Haven, over to the county corner, about 27th, and then into Fort Wayne. It's even around Wells Street, and Fort Wayne Urban League is part of the area, so it's very diverse. You're going from urban, suburban to rural. So what can I do to help everyone out? guess the one thing, I don't know what I can do specifically from a county council perspective, other than I know I can listen. And I think so many times, people don't feel they're getting heard. I don't know if I'll have the answer. If I'm successful, this won't be the first township meeting I'm at here. I won't make them all, but you'll have access to me, and I may not know how to take care of what your concerns are, but may hopefully have an answer to, well, I can go to this department, that department. With the Parks Department, I've interacted with a lot of county officials over the years, county department heads that are still there, so I've got that going for me, I believe. And being retired, this will give me time to do these kind of things and be out in the communities and doing what I can to do the job properly. If I didn't think I was the best candidate and I could get the job done, I wouldn't be standing here before you. But I gotta win the May primary, the Republican primary in May, and then on to November. So this is the first stop. I hope in the next 30 days, maybe I can set up some kind of meet and greet out in Hoban, I'm at New Haven, and same with Monroeville, so look for suggestions of where that might be. That's a public one. I have my own Mike Clendenin at CLENDENEN Facebook page. It's private, but I share a lot of the posts that are public regarding the county council and what I'm trying to accomplish. So I think it just comes down to some common sense and listening to people and being accessible. That's why I'm here, and appreciate any support. If anybody has any ideas, I'm more welcome to meet. Even the Parks Department, they have some, they want to meet. I've got 25 years of park experience. If they want to pick my brain, like I said, I wouldn't say no. If I can help, I'll help. So that's pretty much it. Just initial and let you know I'm out here. It is a Republican primary, I don't know if I said that. So I can help. Let me know.
But your advice is the 16th and 23rd.
I've gone to the first two, and basically the fire chiefs and all, they're just explaining what they want to accomplish. And honestly, I do believe they want everyone in the county to have the best service they can have. So that's a challenge, as you can imagine. So I've been to both public hearings again, more to hear what the public has to say. And right now I'm clear on the 16th, so I plan on being there. Again, to hear what the public's concern is. Because I'm not 100% sure what the county council will be involved with, and I imagine budget. So I'm sure that I will be part of that. So I will be concerned on how that all works out.
Any questions for Mr. Clendenin?
I got a lot of pressure to win in the May primary, because I promised my grandkids we could walk in the Hogan Day Parade. So that's first step, winning in May, and then we'll see more of it.
That's good.
All right? Yeah. All right.
Great, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right, we'll open up to public comments. Anything from our guests here tonight? You're quiet. One person sleeping.
Pretty good feeling, but honestly.
Yeah, that's an improvement from last time. Any comments, questions from the board at this time before we adjourn? Thank you all for your service. I appreciate you all wanting to campaign again and run for township board. Yes, yeah, I really appreciate that. I really believe in what we're doing. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of tough decisions have to be made. I like to do it with a group that I'm familiar with, and you know what they're looking towards, and so I really appreciate that. So thank you for your service and your time. It means a lot. At this time, we'll welcome the motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for